Alright, number one, putting a big focus, big emphasis on changing chords after upstrokes. So just pay very close attention. Make sure you hear very clearly those final chords before you change into the new one. As far as counting this, because it's all eighth notes, you might just count the downbeat number. This way you can keep track of where you're at. But singing the entire thing, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, I don't feel it's necessary for something like this because it's just straight eighth notes the entire time. But counting the downbeat numbers can be helpful. So again, you can keep track of where you're at. Alright, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2. Whoops. There we go. Back down to 60. Again, an emphasis on changing chords. Well, we're changing chords almost every single beat here. But just be very careful, when you're hitting these eighth notes on those upbeats. Make sure you clearly hear those strums come through. 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3, the combination one. So if you need to, just practice counting along with that metronome and along with this video. Get comfortable with the entire count, the ever-changing rhythm, before applying the chords. So just build it up one little step at a time. Here we go, 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. Hang on. sounds better. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. And 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's go over that theory stuff. First, let's take a look at this. All right, so some things mentioned. Basically, these keys here, well, starting here, these will contain sharps, and the keys down here will contain flats. So basically, I just want you to spell out each key. So that's key of C, this will be the key of G, key of D, key of A, and so on. So one thing I mentioned was, if you do this correctly, you will not have sharps and flats in the same key. This happens when we are dealing with your natural major, natural minor stuff. So we need one G, whether it's G flat, G, or G sharp. In this case, it's G natural. But basically, just for example, as you're working these things through, you need one kind of G, you need one kind of A, one kind of B, one kind of C, so on. Whether that's C natural, C sharp, or yes, even a C flat. That is a real thing. So just keep that in mind as you're going through it all. You have to use one of every note name, regardless of sharps or flats. They all have to be used. Basically, you will have instances of like a B sharp or a C flat come up. And so when it comes to theory stuff, yes, those exist. Like there's no space between a B and a C note, but depending on what key you're playing or what chord, sometimes it is proper to say B sharp or C flat. Sometimes it is proper to say E sharp or F flat. And the rare thing, you might come across double sharps, double flats, and really rare and just silly, triple sharps and triple flats. So that's very rare. But anyway, so just want you to keep that in mind as you're working through that. So we're going to do that first, or you can do this first, but basically, when you're looking at the keys there, or like going through this stuff here, so there are no sharps and flats over here at the start of this this line. So that indicates we are in the key of C or key of A minor, because the key of C has no sharps or flats. So we could say an absence of a key signature is itself a key signature because everything is natural. No sharps, no flats. The one sharp indicates we are in the key with one sharp. And as you correctly did last night, you go up 5 notes from the C note, or basically a C5 chord. Yep, that 5th note. That is the root note of the next key. Boom. For the flats, you end up going up in 4s. So you play a C major scale, you go up 4 notes in that scale, that's what the chord is, or the root note is. It's also given away right here. So there's your 4. So basically we're in the key of C, then the key of G, and then the key of F. That is a natural symbol shown right there. And that happens when you go from a key containing a sharp or flat, and then you go to the key of C. Whatever was sharped or flattened, that must be indicated here that we have gone back to natural. So that's what the natural symbol means. So basically, key of C, G, and F, and then it does it again. Key of C, G, and F, and C, G, and F at the bottom. So what I want you to do, as you already started here, begin the first instance of the keys C, G, and F, starting on the low E string. The path you take from chord to chord here must be the same for all 3 keys. And if you ever put together a path for one key that works, but it doesn't work for another, change the path. So that's the puzzle. It must fit for all 3 keys. And then for the second group, you're going to start on the A string for the root note. That doesn't mean all the chords are on the A string, or begin on the A string, just the first one. And then for the last group here, I want you to start the first chord on the D string. Again, just the first chord. Other chords can start on the D string, but they don't have to. We want to go from one chord to the next in the most efficient manner possible. Any questions, let me know. I will see you again next week.